All right, everybody, this is the Weekly Bool. We got a lot to talk about this week. We got me, Michael Cole. We got Alex Gaez.
Hey.
We got Benjamin DeCristo.
What's up?
And we got Kesh Patel.
Yo, what's up?
All right, okay. So, do you guys want to start talking about Monday Night Football first?
Sure. Why not? I'd like to say I have me on record and Cody on record too from last week for predicting this upset.
Right,
Raiders
yeah,
over
no.
the Saints, 34-24.
I remember you talking about that.
Now, the reason why I thought it was a good game. I mean, the Saints went up early. I think they were up 10-0. Raiders came back with 17 second quarter points. And I got to hand it to Derek Carr and Waller, man. I think Waller is the key point. He had so many receptions that game.
Oh, yeah.
I had him on fantasy last year and I was happy with him, but I think he's grown even more. And I think he's going to be a big threat down the road.
Yeah, I was when the Saints were up before, like in the beginning, I was thinking like, how could Ben and Ryan say such stupid things about Raiders beating the Saints? You know, look at this Raiders offense. I thought it was pitiful. But then they started winning, and I was like, damn, you know, maybe – and it also got me thinking about Drew Brees, you know. Is he showing his age? Like, is he faltering right now? Or is this just a fluke? Is this just a bad game?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, man.
Let's just not act like Michael Thomas.
Holy shit.
Michael Thomas wasn't there. I mean, we all know this outcome would be different if Michael Thomas was there. All I'm going to say is that Saints team has a way better team than whatever the fucking Oakland Raiders are trying to put together. Look, you really think Derek Carr is a serviceable QB?
I do.
I think so.
Game.
Yeah, I think he is.
I think he is too.
And let me tell
100%.
you, I was really inspired by his words before the game. You know, he was tired of people disrespecting him. You know, they didn't
Because he
believe
sucks.
him.
He sucked every
he's in a bad situation.
He's got a chip
Bad
on his shoulder.
situation.
I think, you know what? I think if the Raiders pull off a win against the Pats this Sunday, then I'm committed to the Raiders. I think they're gonna have a breakout season. If they beat the Pats this Sunday, I'm completely on board with the Raiders. I think their offense looks sexy. I think their stadium looks sexy. I just think, you know, Derek Carr was looking sexy. You know, he kind of looks like Jesse from Breaking Bad. I liked his vibe. You know, I like the team
Football,
culture.
bitch.
Oh, Josh Jacobs was amazing, you know, just fucking pushing through people, and he's had a great inspiring story.
Wasn't as amazing.
And, you know, I think this is going to be something similar to the Rams after they moved to Los Angeles. I think after this move, there's just something's going to be in the air.
Going to do so much.
I think you got to put respect on Derek Carr's name, man. I think if you put him on a team that had competent wide receivers, I think that team would be good. And I agree with Michael. I think this is going to be a breakout season for the Raiders. I just think moving to LA or Las Vegas is a breath of fresh air for the team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Derek, not only in that game was Derek Carr playing well, but he looked confident too.
Mm.
And I think that is a huge part in football. I think we all know that confidence is huge. And he was not only throwing quick passes, he was looking all around. He was confident in his throws. I'm high on him. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, and he had fun playing too. You see him, he's smiling, he's having a good time. And, you know, I just want to go back to that stadium. I think that's a scary stadium. I think especially when fans start coming in, those teams on the road, they're going to have a hard time in the Death Star, as they're calling it. I think even without fans, it's very intimidating. And I think maybe Drew Brees kind of got a little spooked out by just the majesty of that stadium. And I think sometimes you need to look at these little minute details of just something happening, the stars aligning, a big move, Oakland to Las Vegas. Like, I just have a good feeling about this team. They were looking good. They were playing good. They were having fun. And the Saints, they were doing good in the beginning, but I think maybe Derek Carr just learned from them in the beginning, took some time to develop and adapt his game, and they came out with the win. And I think it was well-deserved.
Well said. I want to move on to I want to talk about that Sunday night game too, because I don't know about you. In my opinion, that was the best game of the week.
That was very fun. I agree.
I mean, you start off early in the game with the pick six from Cam Newton, and you're thinking from Russell Wilson. Sorry, my bad. And you're thinking, all right, do we have a game? Because I think most people had the Seahawks winning,
right?
But you're like, okay, first interception, starts off cold, whatever, and then Russell Wilson just turns the burners on, and he throws 4 or 5 pass touchdowns. And then after that, Cam Newton starts to go off. And then we got ourselves a close game that ends at the line. And let me tell you, I mean, I know you all remember that Super Bowl that came down to the Patriots and the Seahawks at the 1-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
And they were in the reverse roles this time. And I was getting flashbacks to that game. And what did they do? They stopped them close to the goal again. The defense prevailed. I thought that was game of the week.
Yeah.
That game just showed you why Russell Wilson is going to be the MVP this season. I mean, do you see him out there?
I don't know, though. You got to put some respect on Cam Newton's name, man.
Oh,
Coming back from those injuries, coming back from all those injuries, he put up almost 400 yards, bro.
I actually completely agree with Keshev on this. I think both quarterbacks played really well. I think Russell Wilson did better, but he's kind of on a better team, at least as far as weapons go. And I think Cam Newton did really well. He's really fitting well with this New England offense. I think Bill Belichick really believes in him and knows how to use his strengths to his advantage. I think, in Carolina, I think they were kind of undervaluing his talents, and they weren't really using them properly. And I think Bill Belichick, if anyone's going to be the one to get the most out of Cam Newton, it's going to be him.
100% agree with you.
And it really it kind of makes things interesting with the AFC East. I feel like before, in the beginning, we all kind of agreed that Patriots were going to be competitive, but it was really going to be the Bills coming out on top. But after the Bills game, I mean, they beat the Dolphins. Josh Allen was doing really well, but it wasn't an easy game for the Bills. So
not at all.
Can we talk about how Josh Allen's looking like a dark horse MVP candidate here? Most passing yards in the league so far.
I think if the season ended today, I think you'd have to put Josh Allen in the MVP race. I wouldn't give him MVP. I'd put him in the race, though. We're going to have to see how the season continues out, though, because I think he's gonna start to plateau a little bit. I mean, we'll see what happens. But for now, a dark horse, I completely agree with you, yeah. I want to do a little segment. Do we have time to do one right now? Quick little segment. I like to call it Who's Better Off, where what we're going to do is we're going to switch 2 players on different teams and decide which team is going to be better off as a result. So I'm going to write everyone down. We got Kesh here. We got Jaguar G. We got Minshew Mike. You got to pick your own team, Kesh. I'm Buffalo Ben. We got Minshew Mike, Jaguar G. Who you gonna be? You gotta think about it. Let us know. All right. So the first one on the list. I got Matt Stafford switching places with Matt Ryan, switching the Matts.
The Falcons are better off. I mean, Matt Stafford's 20 times the QB Matt Ryan is. With less weapons. Already he's better than Matt Ryan.
Now okay. What, Mike? What do you say?
I can't disagree, honestly. I mean, Matt Ryan has had a successful career. I think they're very comparable. But, I mean, as we saw from this last Cowboys game, can't pull it off. You know, you got to
Alright.
pull it off in the last moments, and maybe Matt Ryan's not the one to do that. But Matt Stafford, I've seen him work some miracles down in Detroit.
Cash, who you got?
Stafford all the way, baby. They don't call him Slat Stafford for nothing. Don't know why you call Slat Stafford.
You're right. All right, that was the easiest one, I think. We're gonna get a little bit spicier as we go down the list.
All right, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bring it on.
Next, now and again, it's not who's the better player. It's what team is better off.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna do Derrick Henry with Ezekiel Elliott. Are the Cowboys or the Titans better after that?
Look, with that fucking Cowboys, I don't think the Cowboys get better, but I think they're going to be better than the Titans if the Titans had. Does that make sense? I think Cowboys with Derrick Henry are better than Titans with Ezekiel Elliott, but I think they're worse than Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, just that O-line and an okay running back, there's no
All
way.
right, so you're going with Henry on the Cowboys as better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would also say that. I mean, Derrick Henry would work really with any team. He just
Workhorse.
Yeah, he's a workhorse.
A big old ox.
He comes into a game and he just plows through defenders and he just takes control of a game. He wins games for the Titans time and time again. But I mean, you know, the Jags stopped him, so
I mean,
not good, huh?
You put him on a competent offense, though. I mean, with that O-line, just the O-line itself, man. It's got to be the best in the league. And you put anybody behind that line, they'll break out.
Mm-hmm.
But Ezekiel Elliott with no O-line, I guess it'll be okay.
All right, Cash, what you got?
I don't know, man. That comeback Sunday night. I don't know. I mean, it was against Falcons. You know, Matt Ryan. He's not what he was. He still put 4 touchdowns, but I don't know. That was quite the comeback. I low key I think they're gonna take the East this season.
Wow.
What?
Right.
Are you crazy? Kashev.
Who else?
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about, Kashev. I'm talking about with what you said before. I completely disagree. Ezekiel Elliott, you know, he wasn't. I think Dak was the one who came up when it mattered the most and made that comeback. It wasn't Zeke. Okay, Derrick Henry on the Cowboys.
Fair.
So much better. Zeke, he's a small man. He's small. Derrick Henry's big. He's a big workhorse, you know. He'll just plow through. He'll do what he does best. Kesh got girls giggling in the back, you know.
All right, moving on next. I got Henry on that one, too. Next, we got Devontae Adams switching places with Tyreek Hill. 2 elite quarterbacks, 2 elite wide receivers. Any team get better with that trade?
I think Devontae Adams is better than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Now, that's different than is the team better?
It comes down to the same thing. That, like, Devontae Adams is just way better than Tyreek Hill, like, by far.
Yeah.
So
Tyreek
it's just
Hill
it's not even
domestic
like
violence. Okay, I think that's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Fuck Tyreek Hill, honestly, and he's ugly too. So
all I'm saying is if Aaron Rodgers now got a fat, because I think Adams is the better player. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. We know Hill's faster, fastest basically in the league. If you got an even deeper threat with Rodgers on that, I don't know. I think the Packers could be better off getting Hill.
What?
Yeah.
I strongly disagree.
I mean, yeah, that's just ridiculous.
The Packers would get worse with Tyreek Hill. It doesn't. What? He's fast. There's plenty of fast players.
He underperforms so many times. I mean,
know. He's a letdown. And you know, any improvements to a Chiefs offense is gonna trump over a Packers offense. If the team is worse off and then gets better, then there's no contest, you know. If they're worse off and they'd still win against the Packers, like if this trade never happened and they still win against the Packers, once they got a better receiver, they would definitely win against the Packers.
All right. Cash, what you got?
I think Patrick Mahomes is pretty comparable to Aaron Rodgers, if not better, even with the deep ball. I mean, Patrick Mahomes can throw it as far as any quarterback in the league right now.
All right. I think Cash may be AFK. So we'll move on. We got 2 more left. Next, we got Jalen Ramsey switching places with Stephon Gilmore.
I mean,
I think the Patriots would still be better off because I think Stephon Gilmore is the better player, but the that wouldn't improve the Rams.
The Patriots secondary is already the McCourty bros. I mean, it's deadly.
And the Rams they have so many more other problems, plus just being in such a competitive division. Like, they wouldn't have success even if they got a better
I'm with you.
replacement for Ramsey.
So you got the Patriots being better off after that trade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't think the Patriots would get worse from this trade. Better, I don't know. And I feel like I think Gilmore's I think a better player, but I also think he fits the system. So when you're switching over, if you move him to LA, I don't know.
When you say better, you mean better than the other team, right?
I mean, yeah, I think the Patriots get worse if they get Ramsey, but I still think they're going to be way better than the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't know, yo. Belichick always got that voodoo magic. He makes it work every season. You can take anybody in, you know what I mean? He literally he took a chance on freaking Cam Newton, and look how that turned out.
Well, we don't know how it turned out yet.
I don't know.
We know 2 games how it turned out.
Well, 2 games is better than freaking what he was putting up in the Panthers, all right?
That's true.
I'm with you on that.
Couple seasons.
Last one we got is we're switching Sean Payton with Pete Carroll. Switching the coaches. What team's better with that?
I mean, I gotta go with the Seahawks. I mean, I think Sean Payton is a much better coach.
Yeah.
And then he'll have a better team with the Seahawks.
Yeah, and plus I think if Pete Carroll left Seattle, like, he wouldn't he's worked so hard to affirm himself in the culture there that it just wouldn't work out in the Saints. You know, I just think it would be something he'd do at the end of his career for like 2 seasons.
See, I don't know. I got some hate for Sean Payton. Maybe that's why I picked these 2 up. I think Sean, he can be an okay. I think he's overrated as a coach. He only won one Super Bowl after all these years of relevance, and that was a decade ago. And he's an asshole too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see the Seahawks getting any better with Sean Payton.
I don't know. I feel like the thing with Pete Carroll though is I feel like he just got, Russell Wilson just carrying the team on his back. You know what I mean? I feel like if you put in somebody like Sean Payton, somebody that could put in the work, I think it'll just go that much better.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. So, all right, those were all the ones I had for this week. If anyone that's listening, if you got better suggestions for us to debate next week on who's better off, just make a comment on the video.
Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz.
We'll debate.
I'm gonna take a break real quick. I'm just gonna cut this part out. I really gotta pee. I've been drinking Mellow Yellow. I went to Arby's and
Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow.
Don't cut this.
All right.
We're back.
We are back. Let's go to a game. I mean, you guys aren't called Minshew Mike and Jaguar G for nothing.
Oh my.
Let's talk about, they were, from a bettor's perspective, they were 11-point underdogs, and they did lose, but they showed some fight, those Jaguars.
They were looking good. Yeah. That Jags offense is not to be trifled with. I will tell you that much.
And
their defense looks like Swiss cheese, but
don't overlook their defense, okay? I mean, they're a lot of rookie young players who are just starting out in this league, and I think they're showing a lot of promise. I think as the season goes on, they're going to get a lot better. And, everybody was saying, oh, Derrick Henry's going to do great. He always does great against the Jaguars. he's gonna rush for over 100 yards and get like fucking 3 touchdowns, whatever. They stopped Derrick Henry. They had a goal to stop Derrick Henry, and they did. I think as time goes on, they're gonna learn how to kind of multitask. They're gonna stop the run, and they're gonna focus more on pass defense. And I think they're gonna improve. I mean, the Titans are supposed to be the best team in the AFC South. You know, Titans, I mean, they're not great. It's kind of hard to see how well the Jags are going to do. They haven't been up against like a really good team yet because they haven't been up against a team outside of the AFC South. I don't think the Dolphins are going to challenge them that much. So we still don't really know, but I think they accomplished the goal of stopping Derrick Henry, which was the driving force of the Tennessee offense. So that just kind of goes to show the ceiling that these young Jags defenders have.
I'm liking the. I mean, Kayvon Chase got a nice sack.
Oh,
Josh Allen looking nice. I mean,
Miles
Jack.
Jack.
They're young guys. Their young guys are, of course. I mean, Joe Schobert, the veteran they bring in. I mean, they're looking okay, but I mean, compared to their offense is playing at like a playoff level. They're
better than the
good.
Chiefs. Better than the Chiefs' offense. Yeah, I'd say so.
I would say so. I'd say probably. You know what? I'll say it. Jags have the best offense in the league right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What?
Finally.
I'll say it.
What?
Best offense in the league, led by probably as of right now the best QB in the league. I mean, he's making no second-year player
Most
out of
improved.
here. Get out of here.
He's been doing almost this good his entire career. I mean, he's doing better.
Probably, I would have to say best 6th-round pick in the NFL ever, QB ever. Probably. I mean, if that best in Florida, obviously.
Best quarterback in Florida right now. I'll give that. But
right now, you can make the argument that that the Jags have the best offense in the league right now.
I think that is a very valid argument.
I think that is 100% false. I think I can name at least 5 other.
Then name them. Name them, Ben, right now. Name them. Name every team in the league. Actually, now that I think about it,
name every team in the league.
Look, what offenses do you think are better than the Jags offense right now?
Right now, right now, I think the Ravens have a better offense.
Jesus Christ.
I think the Seahawks have a better offense.
The Chiefs?
The Chiefs barely.
I think the Rams have a better offense right now.
You think the Rams are okay. I don't all that talk.
I'm just saying
They only beat the Cowboys and they only beat the Eagles because the Eagles suck.
Mike and I were high on the Cards. I think the Cards got a better offense.
Okay. Now you're just talking
now
crazy.
You know.
I'd put them top 10. I'll put them top 10, Jags. I ain't putting them out. But here's one thing I will say.
Top 5 and we'll stop.
Here's one thing I will say, though. And I know we always talk about on this podcast, we love to talk about Minshew Mania. But there's a reason why.
We've been talking about it for years.
He is good. Now, if you take him, he's in a low market city. I would bet my bottom dollar if you put Minshew on the Cowboys, on the Giants, on the Packers. If you put him on one of those teams, the whole league would be obsessed with this man.
Yo, that stash on the Cowboys, that would sell jerseys.
That would sell so many jerseys.
All right.
No.
Hey, boys.
Go ahead, guys.
So, who's better off? The Cowboys with Minshew?
Yes.
The Jags
100%.
with Dak?
Yes.
No, the Cowboys with Minshew.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because the fire Minshew brings.
Obviously, yes.
Minshew brings. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Cowboys are a much better team. No. It only has
Strictly quarterback here. Strictly quarterback.
I want to go back to what was said before, saying like if Minshew was in a higher market team, he'd do better. I gotta disagree with that. I think he works perfectly for the Jacksonville area.
I think.
Let me tell you.
I wasn't necessarily saying
his play.
that his play is better, but I'm saying he would get he'd get more attention.
Yeah, I know, and I'm disagreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
I think
Let's
okay, maybe he'd get more attention just because it's a higher market league, but would he be as beloved as he is in Duval?
That's true. Yeah.
That he's just a like you look at a Jacksonville beach guy, on the beach. I went to the Jags beach. Jack's beaches like a couple months ago. There's a guy doing yoga. He was just doing handstands. I was walking down the street and this guy, he walks past me and my girlfriend, and he points and he's like, "Hey guys, I just bought a club." And he like points to this building with like a for sale sign, and it looks like he wants to turn it into a nightclub, and he just gets in his Jeep and he drives away. And I'm like, wow, this place is special. And that's why Minshew needs to stay in Jacksonville.
I can't tell you if I understand what you're trying to get at with that story.
What are you talking about?
However, I do agree that Minshew is more beloved in a small market city because, think about if he was on the Cowboys, how many people hate the fucking Cowboys,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I feel like he fits the role though for the Cowboys. Like my thing is just that stash, he's just such a lovable guy, and I feel like his market.
Cowboys are such a hateable team.
But I'm saying for the Cowboys market, I'm not saying league wide.
Yeah, okay.
I think
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say if he's on a bigger market and he's getting the spotlight more, they people see that stash. They're selling more jerseys. That
people
team.
would stop sleeping on him too. I mean, people
would
are still arguing.
Yes,
they're
He
still
would be more
saying
hated.
Yes,
Because
I would agree.
Critiques more.
I would agree with that just because the media is very discriminatory towards small market teams, Even on the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team with the smallest fan base in the league, he still gets this niche recognition. And I saw him on a commercial on TV, and he was the last guy. They saved him like best for last, and he did his hair thing. He's just he's a folk hero for Jacksonville. And just going off of that, I want to talk a little bit, just taste a little bit into this whole tank for Trevor nonsense with the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is not the guy that Jacksonville needs.
Agreed.
Even if he was the best quarterback you could draft, I think Minshew is
still a franchise QB.
Jacksonville just wants to go big. Jacksonville wants to be like the big boys, and they just got to embrace that they're a small market team. They're new. They need to go with just a different vibe for.
And
vibe for the whole team.
When they make the decision to make Minshew their QB going forward, I mean, the whole culture shifted. They got rid of all these toxic players. They got rid of Leonard Fournette. They got rid of Yannick Ngakoue. They got rid of all these guys. And look, they're out there. They're looking nice. They're looking better off.
They really are.
You know who needs Trevor Lawrence, though, and I think could fit if they got their shit together a little bit more? I think the Jets. I think the Jets need Trevor Lawrence.
They need to fire
– they need to get rid of Darnold.
Everybody. Look, thing about Darnold is, I mean, I need to see him with another coach before I make a decision about him.
Adam Gase is the worst.
Yes,
in the
by
league right
far. Because Darnold's got talent, but I mean, we don't know how. We don't know. He's just been dealt a shitty hand. Same with Josh Rosen. He's never really gotten a chance, but I mean, everybody's written him off right now.
Well, he should be.
The thing, I agree that the cards haven't been dealt perfectly to Sam Darnold getting drafted at the Jets. No offense to any Jet fans listening, but he kind of did it to himself too. I mean, do you remember last year? This man in the middle of the season gets mono and is out for 2 to 6 weeks. You can't just be doing that mid-season. That's some goon shit, man.
Honestly, but the Jets kind of need some goon shit. I think every team kind of needs a little bit.
They've already had butt fumble, man. They can't need any.
You can't fault the guy for having mono. I mean, come on. He's a football star. Maybe in 2020 when we're not supposed to be going out, yeah, sure. But he can get mono from anywhere. He's living his life. He's a young man, all right? Let him get mono.
All right, so I don't want to talk about the game, but about this game, but we kind of were. We didn't mention it specifically, but the Cowboys Falcons. For those listening, and none of us are really big Cowboys fans. I hate them, hate their guts.
Yeah.
So it was painful to see.
We're objective. We're objective here.
I don't mind them. I don't mind them. I liked Romo. I was a big Romo
I do like
fan.
Romo.
He was good. But
yeah.
now I say
foremost,
this game
we're football fans, not
yeah,
team,
of course.
We just love the sport of football
and the Jaguars
and the Jag. I mean, yeah, but
now I think you can agree or disagree with me, but that game was more of a Falcons flop than a Cowboy comeback.
I mean, well, yeah, the Falcons are used to flopping.
They're used to flopping.
After that Super Bowl disaster, they should have fired everybody in there.
I think the Falcons flopped, but we also got to give credit to Greg Zuerlein. Sheesh, that was a very innovative
the leg
onside kick. That was a great comeback. But yeah, I do think the Falcons went for a 2-point conversion instead of just taking an extra point on one play, and it completely blew up in their face. They were up by like 19 points or something, and they take this. They go for a 2-point conversion, and it doesn't work out, and they lose by 1 point. That's just such a Falcons thing to do.
That's true. I think if I don't know what's going on down in Atlanta, but I put Dan Quinn on thin ice.
Oh yeah, he should have been fired last season.
I agree. I think he's in the hot seat anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if they got one more game that's similar to this, where they blow a over 10-point lead. I think he'd be out mid-season.
Wow, that's a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be a good replacement for the Falcons?
Ooh,
any possible suggestions for that?
That's a good question.
Maybe we should save that for next.
Anyone listening, reply who you think.
Yeah,
would be a good replacement.
And like and subscribe. Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
And in fact, how about just click on the video? I mean,
just put it on replay. You can mute it. It's fine. Just run the numbers.
There.
Okay.
Let's plug the SoundCloud too real quick. SoundCloud.com/Olaf the Quaker.
Olaf, fuck Olaf.
Fuck Olaf forever.
Fuck Olaf. We ain't about it, but I mean, like, we still don't
like SoundCloud.com/Olaf the Quaker. All right.
All right. Another game I want to talk about. Are we good on that game?
Yeah.
No.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to talk about, and now I was wrong in this prediction. All you guys were right, but it was close. Bengals Browns. Joe Burrow looking good.
That was a fun.
That was my favorite game of the week.
Tell us about it,
the Browns.
Why was it your favorite?
Browns fan.
Bro, the Cleveland Browns. Oh my god. I wish they were in a position where they could just drop Baker Mayfield. Like that man spent so much time freaking in commercials, freaking like commercial money when he should be on the freaking field learning to play football.
Right.
If anybody should be tanking for a QB, it's them. Okay. They got all the units. Yep. The running back are amazing. The wide receiver is amazing, but your QB is just hot garbo. He's just not what he lived up to be. Kind of sounds like a team very familiar to me in the city where I live right now. Anyways,
the way you said
I love the Browns.
Yeah, what about Minshew to Cleveland possibly?
I would like that. I would love that. Actually.
I mean, that's an upgrade.
I definitely
big time
agree.
Would the Jags do that?
I don't think.
No,
they would not.
You would have
Not
to
anymore.
lose a unit for that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the front office is
not
fucking
even.
retarded.
Not even.
Stupid. Very stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
But that game was close, Bengals Browns. But I was impressed by Burrow.
I was too. Yeah.
He threw a crap ton of passes. Yes. But 316 yards, 3 pass touchdowns, his second game in the league with not a great cast. Again, he's just starting out, and they did lose, but I think it's bright for Cincinnati.
I have a takeaway from this game, and it is it's hard being a big Joe Mixon fan, honestly. I mean, like, this guy has all the talent in the world, and this Bengals team just sucks hot dick.
Yeah, and the problem is, Joe Burrow, he's very competent. If any quarterback can turn around Cincinnati, it's Joe Burrow. He looks just so calm and collected. It's his second game, and he looks like a veteran. I mean, not really because of the team around him, but just the way he makes his reads, the way he moves, the way he leads. You can tell he's going to have a successful career in the NFL. And let me just tell you, I love those Bengals uniforms. I love when they dress up like Tigers. I love the Browns uniforms. I love when they face each other. It looks great. The brown, the orange, the black, the white, everything. It looks beautiful. I loved watching it. But, Joe Burrow, he's a great quarterback. He needs some better receivers. I don't like A.J. Green. I do not think he's elite. I think he sucks. And they really need to make some upgrades, give him some more weapons. But honestly, I think before they do anything, Cincinnati needs to focus on their defense. I think their defense was looking awful on Thursday night. And I think that's probably the biggest problem for the Bengals, followed by lack of weapons for Joe Burrow.
Good analysis, man.
And, and that brings me to another quarterback who's kind of made his debut recently. Let's talk about Kansas City at the Chargers. Ooh. We got a surprise debut by Herbert. Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in the lung by a doctor.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second?
Oh, my God.
How?
When you're getting those shots, it's more common than
the ribs and the lungs are close. It's the ones
especially if they if they weren't really expecting to give him the shot, and then he's like, I need the shot. They don't have an ultrasound or nothing. So I mean, it happens, but team doctor, I mean, maybe you should try and find a new day job.
Yeah, I completely disagree with you guys. That's ridiculous. This is Tyrod Taylor's life we're talking about, and you're just excusing this doctor. I think this doctor should be fired.
I don't think it's doctor's fault. I mean, honestly, it's a hot take, but why is Tyrod Taylor even playing football? He knows the risk. These things can happen. If you don't love the game enough to lose a lung for it, is it worth playing?
Well, I mean, the fact that he's willing to go for this shot when he's having chest pain kind of shows that he loves this game, and it is worth it for him to lose a lung, perhaps. I agree.
I just want to take this a little further. I mean, a lot of people have lost their lives for this game. Mark Sanchez did. R.I.P.
O.J. Simpson.
But what I think, and whether I think they can deny it as much as they want, but I think we're going to have the QB controversy in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Today, they've announced that once Tyrod Taylor is back and healthy, he's going to be their starter. Mm-hmm. And I think what's going to happen is the fans are going to see. We just saw a game of Herbert. He got 311 yards, and he was very efficient, 66% completion rating. And they're going to see we got a new young quarterback. He's playing well. I want to see him play. I want to see him start. And I think the coaching doesn't want that, but I think the pressure from the people is going to get to the owners' heads and say, maybe we really got to start Herbert and put Taylor on the bench.
I mean, I got to strongly disagree with the topic of Herbert's play. I don't think it's going to be Herbert doing well. I do agree that the Chargers are so desperate for fans, they'll do something like keep playing Justin Herbert. Honestly, when I heard that Tyrod Taylor was injured, I thought this was like a ploy. They're just going to say that he's injured and then put out Justin Herbert early. I thought they were going to do it a lot later, but maybe they're just doing this for publicity. I mean, it kind of worked. But then I saw that Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in the lung, so I don't think they faked that. I mean, Tyrod Taylor taking one for the team, that'd be kind of slack. Good for him. But I was not really impressed with Justin Herbert. I think he did improve from college. I think he had some good plays. I mean, he had a touchdown run. He had a nice touchdown pass into the back corner of the end zone. But I would like to add, he's having a lot of fun while he's playing. He's smiling. He's having a good time. I'm proud of him. He seems like one of the guys, just like outside, tossing the pigskin, just having a good time, playing the Chiefs and doing well, But I just thought his inaccuracy, throwing to players who just like aren't open. I think maybe if he gets used to the NFL and he makes some big improvements, he'll have success in the league. But do I think he's going to be it to turn around the Chargers? No way. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime during this season he has a complete collapse and just doesn't play well at all. And this is just kind of like one of those fluke games where a high round draft pick starts a game. It's a surprise. He does well. Maybe the surprise kind of helps him because he's not nervous about it. He doesn't even know he's going in. But I think sometime in the season, it's very possible I would put money on Justin Herbert just getting benched, honestly.
Look, I think the key to this Chargers offense is Tyrod Taylor. I mean, I don't think it's Justin Herbert.
You have the Chargers going far.
With Tyrod Taylor. If it's with Justin Herbert, I don't have them going nearly as far. Right. I mean, right. And I think Tyrod needs to be given his fair chance. I mean, come on. Is it really his fault he got stabbed in the lung?
That is true.
I mean, nobody's saying it's his fault that he got stabbed in the lung. It's just, can he do it, He's only had success once. I mean, he brought the Bills to the playoffs, but you haven't really been hearing about Tyrod Taylor recently.
And you're going to be hearing a lot more of him.
Well, do I think he's going to be better than Justin Herbert? Yes. But do I think he's going to be the key to the Chargers? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think the key for the Chargers, if anything, is their excellent running team. I think Austin Eckler was a great fantasy and he's doing really well catching those backfield passes from an inexperienced quarterback. I think that's where they're going to do really well, and I think that's what they're going to run most of the time. And honestly, hey, I mean, if Justin Herbert just keeps throwing to his running backs, he might have success, and it might kind of give this illusion of him making it in the league. But I think it's really just going to be that running team carrying them. I was really impressed with the Chargers running team.
All right. I think another topic that we haven't talked about yet that we need to talk about is week 2 was brutal with injuries.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
Let's talk about some of these notable injuries and how these are affecting the teams.
Right.
I mean, okay. Well, here's a big one. Nick Bosa going down with a torn ACL. That, I mean, on a stacked 49ers defense, but I mean, they're going to miss him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this could be a lot more serious than you'd think with such a great San Francisco defense. I think Nick Bosa is such a key leader in this defense. This could be detrimental to the San Francisco 49ers.
I mean, one of the best pass rushers in the league by far.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a devastating loss, and I think this could bust the NFC West a little bit open for the Cardinals, I think.
All I'm saying is when we made those predictions last week, I had the 49ers at the bottom.
Right. Oh, and not only this, they lose Jimmy Garoppolo. And,
and they
Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
And, exactly.
After an 80-yard touchdown run.
Yep.
Yeah. Very disappointing. Very, very saddening if you're a 49ers fan.
We got Saquon injury, tore his ACL.
God.
Literally, probably again. I said last week I think the only bright spot on the Giants, and
yeah, I don't think
he's out for the season.
I don't think the Giants are going to have much success without Saquon Barkley. I do think Daniel Jones is quite a capable quarterback with a lot of potential, but I do think Saquon Barkley's the star player of that team. He deserves to be in the commercials that he's in, unlike Baker Mayfield, and this is going to be detrimental to the Giants.
Now riddle me this. As we were talking about Trevor Lawrence earlier, let's just say this Saquon injury devastates the Giants, and they got the first pick. You got that much confidence in Daniel Jones to keep, Daniel?
Yes. Yes.
I think with that first pick, you got to take Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
I think so too.
Disagree.
especially Daniel Jones. I mean, a lot of question marks around him. He's not like Minshew. I mean, not as good as Minshew, obviously.
Well, I mean, Minshew's the best quarterback in the league right now.
I'd say so, but
Y'all whack.
but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd take Trevor Lawrence over Daniel Jones any day of the week.
But do I think Trevor Lawrence, even if let's say Trevor Lawrence is twice the quarterback, or I don't know, is just a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. Like, let's say like it helps the Giants to get rid of Daniel Jones and get Trevor Lawrence. It's not going to help them enough for where they're going to be successful. That's not the key to Giants' success. I think the key to their
It's a step in the right direction.
Well, I think it would be a better step in the right direction if they use that high round draft pick to draft a defensive player and kind of do what Washington football team did with Chase Young, so they can compete. I mean, like, they're in the same division as the Washington football team, so they need to compete with that defense. And I think the defense was a big part of why they lost to the Steelers last week. Like, you think he's gonna be the key to the Giants winning games?
I think
it's a step in the right direction. I think they're going to win more games than if they had Daniel Jones.
Well, do you think they would win more games if they use that draft pick for a defensive player or maybe on the offensive line?
Drafting one defensive player or one offensive lineman can't change the game like drafting one QB can.
100% agree.
I agree, but I think it would be more of a – I think if they use that one pick and then use other picks, like build around that, I think they would have more of a chance of success than if they got Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. Like, it wouldn't pay off at first, but I think further down the line, it would pay off a lot more than if they drafted Trevor Lawrence. But,
all right. And any other games or anything in the NFL we want to hit on?
What other games?
I mean, the Eagles sucked.
Eagles sucked.
Big whoop.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Are Bills Dolphins? Are the Dolphins better than we think?
No.
I think they're better than you guys think. I don't think they're better than I think. I thought the Dolphins would do. I mean, I had them coming third in their division, but they did a lot better than the Jets. I think they have a very difficult record, but they have a strong team. I think maybe not this. If not this season, then they're going to be a threat next season. I think they got a great coach. I think they can be competitive. They were competitive in the Bills game. They had the lead at almost in the end. They almost came out with the win. And I think if the Bills are as good as y'all say, then you got to say that the Dolphins are better than you think.
This may be a hot take, up to your interpretation. But I think that game was a Fitzmagic game. I think he's got, again, a couple more left in the season. But once that burns out, you got to put in Tua, man. Put him in.
Put him in.
Tua's got to recover. Tua's got to recover. He's not going in anytime soon this season.
He needs to learn. We've found time and time again.
Throw him in the fire.
No, it's always better for a rookie quarterback to sit behind a veteran and learn. Fitzpatrick is the perfect mentor for Tua Tagovailoa. I think you're underestimating Fitzmagic. I think it's not just one of those single games where he does well. He's had hot streaks for like entire seasons, and then just the next season he blows it and he moves to another team. I think this could be a successful streak for the Dolphins starting. I think it started week 1, but they had a difficult matchup. You know, it's hard to go up against the Patriots, right?
But I gotta give credit though on the Dolphins to Mike Gesicki.
Oh yeah,
he looked good.
Yeah,
a great guy, great fella.
Looks good.
8 receptions, 130 yards. That's an average of over 60 yards a catch.
Smiling.
He was smiling.
I
give it to him. You know,
that's important.
Yeah, a thing to take away from anyone listening is, I mean, you can be great at football, but if you ain't having fun,
if you ain't giving up a lung for the game, what's the point?
What's the point?
Right, Kashev?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. There we go. All right.
Oh man.
So I think that's it for the NFL.
All right.
Want to
UFC
the NBA real quick?
253.
Well,
We got to talk about the NBA.
this is something. I mean, let's touch on these awards here. We're a little bit late. I mean, MVP just came out, but the rest of them were a little bit late. But I mean, let's just go through these. Let's go through these awards.
Yeah.
So I got them up right here. I'll read them out to you guys.
All
Don't
right.
worry. So, Coach of the Year, Nick Nurse won. Finalist, Mike Budenholzer, Billy Donovan. What do you guys think?
I think Nick Nurse should have been a finalist? Yes. I think Nick Nurse, I think he did a great job. I think everyone counted the Raptors out when Kawhi left and Danny Green left. There's two of their starters. But I would have given Coach of the Year to Billy Donovan. People had the Thunder as a lottery team. They said, we're getting rid of Russell Westbrook and you're just getting Chris Paul back. Your team is done for. And, man, look at a job they did. They took the Rockets to 7 games. And, I mean, they could have – I think they could have won the series, too. I think they have a lot – I saw a lot of improvement from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think people sleep on Dennis Schroeder, too. And I think Luguentz Dort has shown himself.
Oh, my Lord. He is a stud.
And I don't think all of that could have happened. I think those players could have gotten better, don't get me wrong. But I think a good amount of that has to do with Billy Donovan. I think the way he coached, I would have given him Coach of the Year.
See, for me, it wouldn't even upset me if they said there's a 3-way tie for Coach of the Year because I think all 3 of these men are very deserving. Maybe less for Mike Budenholzer, but that's only after I saw the playoffs play out. But what can you do?
Yeah. For
regular season, I would say you could give any of these guys the Coach of the Year, and most people would agree.
Yes,
yeah, I would say I would take Billy Donovan over Nick Nurse as well, agreeing with Ben. When I look at how good of a coach one is, I like to look at the team around them and the expectations of that team. Going back to the NFL with the Dolphins, Brian Flores, everybody thought the Dolphins was tanking. And then they get better as the year goes on, and they surprise some people. I think Billy Donovan, he did even more with Thunder. They were definitely counted out in the beginning, but they did better than the Dolphins did, and they probably had, well, maybe not as low of expectations as the Dolphins, just because the Dolphins were tanking, but they had a lot more success. So I think that's probably the most desirable quality in a good coach.
Kia TM, Rookie of the Year. So John Moran obviously won. Finalists Kendrick Nunn and Zion Williamson. What do you guys think?
John deserved it. I think what was do you know what the vote count was?
Let me take a peek. Let me click this link.
Only one person voted against him.
Yeah. Only one vote against him.
I think that is 100% fair. I think he deserved it. I liked him coming out of first time I saw Ja play was in March Madness for Murray State. And let me tell you, I think he posted a triple-double that game, and he was looking good, and I thought that kid's going to be a stud. And I thought he'd be a little slow, though, once he entered the NBA. But no, he came in like a bull in a china shop, man. Well-deserved.
Look, I'm going to say this. I think Ja deserving to win Rookie of the Year, obviously. I think some of these finalists were snubbed. I think Tyler Hero and Matisse Thybulle, I think they were snubbed.
Matisse Thybulle?
Matisse Thybulle.
In the league. You got the best vlogs in the league.
All right, I'll give him that. I'll give him Rookie of the Year for vlogs. I'll give him MVP for vlogs.
And that defense, man, nothing to play around about.
I give him Rookie DPOY. Sure. He don't deserve to be, as much as I love Matisse, he ain't deserve to be a finalist.
True.
Well, you guys know me, big Grizzlies guy. They call me Memphis Mike. So I watched a lot of I watched a lot of the Grizzlies this past NBA bubble season.
Really? How much? Just that? Just that.
A lot. Like pretty much most every other game.
Okay.
About probably.
Mostly over half of half.
Over half. No, over half is what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
And I was really impressed with Ja Morant. You know, I think a lot of these young guys, they kind of, I think a lot of the hot new thing is, or not new thing, but the hot thing is just like showing off your skill, doing like crazy dunks and shit. And it's not about like the dynamics of basketball, especially, you know, in lower levels, especially like in high school. I think it's like this generational thing. And I think a lot of and I think it's affecting the NBA, and that's why I think a lot of European players are doing so well, because they focus so much on the fundamentals and not more like the flashy dunks and shit like that.
Yeah.
I think Ja Morant is another one of those. It's a cut above the rest, where he really focuses on just having a great game, winning a game. You know, just
laugh and smile and having fun, really. At the end
I
of
mean,
the day.
yeah, he's always having fun. He's always having fun. But I mean, he's just the focus he has, and he's just the way he conserves his energy for the very end, and they get so close and then they lose. It's just great to see for Ja Morant. But let's not count out, if we're talking about the Grizzlies, I just want to bring up Grayson Allen, great player. Had a breakout season in the bubble. I just want to give a shout out to Grayson Allen.
Shouts out Grayson Allen. I mean,
shouts out Grayson Allen.
We'd love to have you on the show.
Love to have you on the show. All right. So yeah,
what's next?
All right. Let me take a look here. We got. Okay, this one is making me angry just looking at it. Sixth man of the year went to Montrezl Harrell. Finalists Dennis Schroeder and Lou Will. Come on.
I am irate at this result as well. Montrezl, all right. Let me just first and foremost say, Montrezl Harrell is not a bad player. I like him, but no way did that man deserve sixth man of the year.
He's not even the sixth man. He's the seventh man. Give him seventh man of the year award.
I think it should have been Schroeder.
I too think it should have been Dennis Schroeder.
I think Schroeder, not only exceeded expectations, but just his play was, down the stretch during those games in the playoffs, they were keeping him out there. They're keeping their sixth man out, and that's saying something. So.
Dennis, he could be a starting point guard and a playoff team, honestly.
Oh, 100%.
And Montrez, I can't see him as a starting. He's 6'9". Who's he going to start for? Playing center, you know?
That's not the league anymore. It can't be.
And he can't shoot. He's 6'9" and can't shoot. He's good coming off the bench, but better than Dennis Schroeder? I don't think so, man.
No. They call him Dennis the Menace for a reason. He does tear up the court, man.
Also because he hit that guy at that club one time in Atlanta.
That is another reason.
But I still love him.
And wait, can we talk about Lou Williams real quick? Because that's the other one in the race. They made a final. I love Lou Williams. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm a Sixers fan for anyone that's listening and doesn't know.
We all know.
So, love Lou Will, six man, you know. But can we talk about this man leaving the bubble to go get some chicken wings at a strip club?
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not the story.
All right, you got the inside scoop?
All right, yeah. All right, so he
was there?
So no. But I know I did my research on this.
He knows Jack Harlow.
He knows Jack Harlow. I even looked at this restaurant, the strip club's menu. I'll be honest, because I want to see. And he wasn't lying. The food is banging. I saw photos of it. I wouldn't blame him. I'd go there to eat too. But
You
he
leave a
went 'cause
bubble.
he had a funeral, I believe. He had a funeral he had to go to. So he attended, and then afterwards, kind of like, RIP dinner, they went to
Comfort
the
food.
strip club chicken eatery. And like you would think, why are you gonna go to strip club, Lou? You lying, but you see the food. I don't know if we can plug pictures, when this comes out, but the food, this food speaks for itself. So don't hold that against Lou. That's all I got.
I'm with Cash on this. I mean, come on, man's just trying to get out of the bubble, have some fun. Like, come on.
But it wasn't even that. He went for a funeral. That's just his favorite restaurant. Like, you can't even hate. Like, I go to my favorite restaurant, Rez Tech in Warminster, PA. Like, I go there too.
Shout out
If I
Rez
was in my
Tech.
bag,
So good.
Anyways, don't hate on Lou.
But I will hate on Montrez for stealing this award out of Dennis Schroeder's hands. Fuck you, Montrez. And he called Luka Doncic a white boy.
Well, he is.
Not cool.
I don't get it. He is white.
He's not a boy. He's a man.
Okay.
Even though he's younger than me, probably. Okay, so next award, DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year, went to Giannis. Finalists Anthony Davis and Rudy Gobert. What are you guys thinking?
I got another one I was mad at. Don't get me wrong. Giannis, good player.
Great
Gobert,
player.
good player. Davis, a good player. No way do I think. I can see why people would pick them for DPOY, but
I think we're on the same page here.
But what the league does is they put too much emphasis on blocks for DPOY. I want you to take a look at a player by the name of Benjamin Simmons.
Yes.
I want you to look at him. I want you to see, as we all know, he's got those issues with shooting. But this is Defensive Player of the Year, man. This is about how good you are on that side of the court. And this man killed it on on-ball defense, on off-ball defense. He was guarding point guards. He was guarding centers. He was getting deflections. He was getting steals. He was lowering the field goal percentage from the three-point line, from the rim. He did everything. And another thing that I saw him this year, he hustled on a lot of plays on defense. He gave the extra effort for 50-50 balls and trying to really improve his game there. Not only did he improve his game, but he deserved DPOY. Glad he got his first team honors, but he deserved more than that.
At the end of the day, nobody can guard the 1 through 5 as well as Ben Simmons. Giannis can. I mean, Gobert, obviously, perimeter defense, very lackluster. Same with Anthony Davis. I mean, it's all about switchability, and Ben Simmons got all that. I'm with you 100% here.
You take the name as Defensive Player of the Year. That I take that as who was the best defensive player overall. Gobert could be the best defensive player at the rim. Sure. He's probably better than Simmons at the rim. He's taller, obviously a lot of the reasons. But overall, who is the best defensive player this year? It was Simmons.
No.
No,
because the Defensive Player of the Year has to affect the defense enough to where the whole team has success from the defense. Does Ben Simmons truly elevate the defense enough to have success in the league? No, because the Sixers suck.
I mean, you could ask the same question about Rudy Gobert the past 2 years. 2 years in a row he's won it, right?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, what does he do besides sit in the paint and just block shots? He can't defend anybody on the perimeter. He doesn't make anybody better. I mean, he just sits there and blocks shots. I mean,
well, I guess maybe Rudy Gobert was a bad decision as well. I'm honestly not entirely – oh, Kashev left. I'm not entirely sure about any of these players.
Now,
I'm not a basketball guy. What can I say? But I do want to interject and just talk about what it means to be a Defensive Player of the Year in any sport or Offensive Player of the Year. It's not really just about skill. It's about how you fit within the team for these team sports.
Now, I maybe I interpret it a little differently because I think I see what you're saying, where I think what can make a good defensive player a great defensive player is their ability to rub off, so per se, on other players and their defensive skills.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't know. This is how I feel for other awards too when they give MVP and Coach of the Year, all these other things. That I think those are individual awards. I think they're just based on individual deserve this. And yes, you can use that criteria that you've mentioned as part of that. But I think it's all about just individual skill. I think the championships and finals MVP and stuff are more of a team-related award. So,
all right, that's fair. I agree.
So, the Kia Most Improved Player obviously went to Brandon Ingram with finalists Bam Adebayo and Luka Doncic. How do you guys feel?
Now, most improved. That's a tough one because I think a lot of players improved really well. I think Brandon Ingram was definitely one of them, and I think he deserved to be a finalist. I mean, his first full year with, sort of full year because of the bubble, with the Pelicans, I think was great. I think it was great to get out of LA, get a fresh start, and I think he really proved himself. His shooting got a lot better. I want to show some love. I think the dark horse out of those three was Bam Adebayo, and I think he improved a ton. And when most people talk about improvement, they talk about on the offensive end, but he became a defensive menace as well. So I think he did a good job. But after all that being said, Luka Doncic, man, he took the game to another level. He was good last year, and I know it's most improved, but I think it's a lot harder to go from all-star or potential all-star rookie to superstar, because that's what he is. He is a superstar, than to go from a borderline all-star to an all-star. So with that being said, I get why Brandon Ingram got it, but man, I think Luka could have deserved it just as much.
I also think that was Luka's award for the taking. And I mean, I think he was snubbed. I think, he led the Mavericks to one of the best offenses of all time in the NBA. I mean, and not to mention it, doing it well,
And can I just take
Balkan?
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to segment into. Just a quick transition. He is now, as we know, he is from Slovenia, I believe. Part of the former Yugoslavia, for those that don't know geography as much. And let me tell you, I mean, we were talking about fundamentals a little bit earlier. Eastern Europe knows how to ball, man. And I would make call it a hot take, but I think by the end of this decade, I could see Eastern Europe taking over a good portion of the NBA, and I could see a majority of the first-round draft picks coming from international countries and coming from Eastern Europe, especially the Balkan areas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think like basketball just has so much potential to be an international sport. It just has so much mass appeal. It's similar to soccer, but faster pace. It's like a lot more fun to watch. And I just think it's spreading a lot. It's not like football where it's just completely American. It's spreading across, like it's the new international sport. And I would not be surprised if the NBA was flooded with international players. I do think the NBA is going to remain the best league in the world for basketball. But yeah, I can I don't think that's well, I think it might be hot to some, but it's not a hot take to me. I agree with you, brother. And
right.
And I also agree with Luka Doncic getting snubbed. I think Ingram. Yeah, I see why he got it. I did think he was kind of like that the key player for the Pelicans. I think a lot of people were looking at Zion, but really Ingram was kind of the turnaround player. But I do think Luka Doncic had much more of a massive improvement. You know, I agree with Ben. Borderline all-star to all-star, it's a lot different than rookie all-star to superstar. I mean, Doncic, he's the man. Doncic,
he's the real deal.
you know?
Can we end? I mean, I'm sure all of y'all saw that buzzer beater against the Clippers.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
deadly.
cold.
And,
the
The Slovenian stud.
listen, you give me
The
a lineup.
legend from Ljubljana.
Give me a lineup of Dragic, Luka, Bojan Bogdanovic, Dario Saric, Nikola Jokic. They win a championship. I'm telling you right there, they win a
The
championship.
Balkan countries are they're the real deal. I'd even go into other parts of Eastern Europe too. I mean, you got Latvia that has Kristaps. You got is it Lithuania? I think that's got Nikola Vucevic. And I go as far east as Turkey. I mean,
Yeah,
Turkey.
We got some Turks in there.
I got shout out my man
Korkmaz,
Hedo
Turkin.
Turkoglu.
Oh,
Hedo Turkoglu, one of the trailblazers for people from over there to come in. You got, I think Eastern Europe is going to be the next hot spot.
oh yeah.
And then let's see what else we got here. All right, and then I mean, let's just talk about MVP. Goes to Giannis. I mean, LeBron, James Harden, finalists. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think it all comes down to, again, how you define most valuable player. If you include record in it, which I know the league has done before back with the Nash-Bryant controversy back in the day, it's got to be Giannis. I mean, not only did he put up numbers that were staggering, but he showed tenacity on both ends, and not only has his game improved, but take a Bucks team and you take away Giannis. I don't know if you have a playoff team. I honestly don't think you do. You take LeBron off the Lakers, you still got Anthony Davis. I think that team could be a playoff team still.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still got enough pieces. Harden, you take away Harden on the Rockets. I mean, I think people sleep on Eric Gordon, and I mean, you have Russell Westbrook. I still think they make the playoffs. For that reason, out of those finalists, I got to give it to Giannis. And I'll let you guys touch on it more a little bit, but I know there was lots of complaints from LeBron after he said he was pissed off about it. And now I could see why you'd be mad that you don't get it. But if you take it from an objective standpoint, you look at the numbers. Sure, you had more assists. That's great. But you really think – and LeBron has been good in the past. Don't get me wrong. But you take him away, you still got a good team. I have to give it to Giannis. I see why LeBron's complaining, but at the same time, if you look at it from an objective standpoint, I think it's a little ridiculous to be pissed off about it.
All right, what I got to say is, Giannis, hell of a player. Harden, hell of a player. LeBron, hell of a player, right? But I got to say, LUKA was another one. I think he was snubbed of I think Giannis deserved the award, but I think LUKA was snubbed of a finalist spot specifically from LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, we already talked about LUKA led the best offense, one of the best offenses of all time. I mean, come on. And LeBron has no right complaining. I mean, he's got the best power forward in the league right next to him. I mean, come on. Just come on. He's not having fun out there. I don't see him smiling. I don't see him laughing. I mean,
I think that's a big part. Yeah, you got to have fun.
Listen, let's talk about sportsmanship. LeBron is lacking in sportsmanship. Maybe it's from all the years in the league. He's upset because he didn't get MVP. He only got 16 votes, and I get how there's kind of like a bias towards a new, fresh story. LeBron James has had success in the past, and I think that kind of causes a lot of stigma against him winning more MVPs. He's also one more MVP award away from Michael Jordan, I believe, and people kind of want to put MJ on a pedestal and say LeBron shouldn't overtake him, and
because he's not better. Sorry, I'll let you keep going.
That's fine. Yeah, and I think regardless of that argument, you shouldn't let that get in the way of a judgment for an MVP award, right? But you gotta understand that it's not even just like it's a new story, you know. If LeBron was playing better than Giannis, he would have won the award, and he didn't. And just to be pissed about it, just be respectful, just be happy for your other players. I do think LeBron James should have been replaced as a finalist for Luka Doncic. I think Luka Doncic did better than LeBron James. I think LeBron James just has so much influence in the NBA, he's going to get on an MVP list no matter what, as long as he's playing well. And I think the Lakers, like Ben said before, they could do without LeBron and still be a playoff team. They might not get as far. LeBron does have some moments where he kind of leads the team towards a win, but it's becoming fewer and further between, and LeBron needs to realize that he needs to grow up, quit whining. I'm sick of LeBron always whining. Just have fun, smile, play the game. You're paid millions of dollars to play a game. Like, why are you so upset that you're not getting enough votes for the award? And when he was talking in an interview, they said, you know, what do you think about it? He said he was pissed, quote, pissed. And then he goes off and says, I mean, I'm not worried about it. You know, like, I don't care. Like, we're in the finals, you know, we're doing great, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, LeBron. You let it get to you. Otherwise you wouldn't have said pissed. You would have thought, you would have said, I'm proud of Giannis. I'm thankful for what he has. I mean, it's LeBron James. He has so much, and he keeps whining.
Look, at this point, right in his career, I don't even think LeBron's the MVP on his own team. I think Anthony Davis takes that spot.
Agreed.
You see him hit that game winner the other day? All I got to say is, and not to mention, he's a big old LeBronianist. Been over for China. You think we're going to forget about that, LeBron?
I didn't forget. I sure didn't.
I sure as hell didn't forget.
Ben, did you forget? Ben?
I think Ben might have forgot. Well, to remind the folks at home, you know, he would.
I'm back.
He would prefer little kids in China in sweatshops making his shoes rather than speak out against the wrongdoings of China. Guess what, China? Tiananmen Square. It happened. Get over it.
Great. Now we lost our viewers in China.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for coming to and listening into the Weekly Bool. We hope you enjoyed your time here and had a relaxing a little bit over an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. I sure did. I had fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, great.
I
was smiling.
It's important to have fun. I mean, come on.
I was thinking about the game the entire time. I mean,
yeah.